Here's a look at a backpack setup I use to go to conventions, do a POV style video, and photography at the same time. This is a backpack of choice so far. It was actually designed to be for GoPros. Tenba Shootout 12L ActionPack. Drink thing if you need that. Modified this to have Velcro on the side. At one point I was using a phone in here to do a IRL stream test. I picked this up at a convention called Anime Central from the dealer's hall. This is Michelangelo Ninja Turtle. Probably not licensed, but it's cute. Microfiber claws to wipe lenses and stuff. Now this one's gonna be a little unique. An old pair of glasses. There's also a microfiber cloth in here, just in case. NASA, they do things with a lot of backup. When I'm planning something, I tend to be prepared. Another pair of socks, just in case. Boxer shorts. Why? I don't know, but why not? A water cover for this specific backpack. I have a little info card. The interesting aspect here is that I have a USB cable coming out the backpack, and I basically set this up. This can't open because I don't have any reason to open this flap, and I just don't want people to get access to it if I have it on my back. It just makes sense to lock it off. But it does open large enough to put a USB cable through. Down to this Ulanzi quick release system. I believe they're called the Claw. They did send this to me years ago. Inside here we've got the camera of choice for the convention, Nikon Z5. I purchased this lens for the convention, so it's a 40 f2, relatively inexpensive. I'm curious to see if this is a better option than the 28 2.8, which is one I have used for conventions, but a pretty low cost option. And f2 aperture is a nice starting point. In here you can have 2 memory cards, instant backup. In my case, I do RAW to both cards at the same time. This is called the Peak Design Slide. It's a pretty nice strap. It's very thick, so relatively comfortable. Battery pack, I have not used this one yet, but I want to try it out. So this will be charging the GoPro. This stays in the backpack. The GoPro is on the strap in that quick release thing, and it keeps the GoPro charged longer. I don't have to change out the battery as much. And the GoPro is of course used for the POV style footage. This backpack is for GoPros and stuff. It doesn't have a padded area, so I made it a padded area with foam from PC add-in card box, which is a very dense foam. It's pretty nice. And then spare fabric that I had here. Extra batteries, another Z5 battery. These are not cheap, but 2 of them seems to be okay for one convention day. The EL15C, more recent revision that allows for USB charging through the camera. With the GoPro 9, 10, 11, and 12 batteries, there's the standard blue version, but this is the more extreme version. It seems more consistent, so I just prefer to use these instead of the blue ones. I actually got rid of my blue ones. So in different temperatures, things like that, this is generally more consistent, and it hasn't blown up like the blue ones have. POV GoPro was the version 9 of the GoPro Hero Black. Quick release from Ulanzi, the Claw system, standard GoPro mount. The one negative is that when you use the Max Lens mod on the 9, it's lower quality because it's using less of a sensor. I don't know if the newer ones are much better. This is one of the replacement doors, so I can pull this little flap up and get access to the USB port, running for longer without having to change the battery. And this thing keeps it a little more stable. I should probably modify this to make it tighter. It depends on what I'm wearing and such. As that, in this case, this is a side strap type thing. You leave on the side. I usually want the camera in the footage if possible. I've gotten used to just using it like a smartphone. And then if I have to touch on the screen to get focus or whatever, basic Velcro straps. This is about as low profile as I can get this set up. Obviously a smaller action camera would be better. I think there's a recent version of the GoPro that I could potentially just charge through USB. It's smaller. It's a quick release lock to prevent it from falling off. Memory card thing. In this case, with the memory card, I use a mix of SD and micro SD for the GoPro. So with the micro SD, I keep them in the little conversion things. This battery, I haven't really used it yet, but USB port, one for charging itself, a micro connection, which is probably for the same thing. And it has 2 built-in cables, so one that I'll never use, most likely. And then a standard USB-C, and it's got a display for whatever. I actually bought this originally for an IRL streaming with a Raspberry Pi idea, but I never really got to that point. IRL streaming is weird, and I think it only makes sense if you have a large audience, building an audience, you know. All right, so that was a look at the convention backpack setup. Sadly, I didn't go to C2E2 this year, but I can definitely use this for future conventions. Basically, a bunch of refinements over the years so far. I really like this backpack for the small size of it, and it fits basically one camera, 1 or 2 lenses, all the extras with the POV style video stuff. Definitely very nice for what I do. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, Skype Photography Bonsai, thanks.